everyone. If you are stumbling across this video, I am going to take you through just a very nice length mobility routine. Would be perfect for mornings, evenings, or any time of day that you need a little extra boost. Um, it's going to incorporate some movements to open up your fascia, to get fluids moving in the body, and to work healthy joint mobility. So let's get started. You're going to begin just standing up with your feet about hip width distance apart, roughly. And you're just going to find a soft bend in your knees. We're going to take the hands and just interlace them together behind the back of the head, just creating this little connection point between the back of your skull and your palms. And then with wide elbows, you're going to begin to inhale, lifting your heart and your sternum up to kind of where your wall and your ceiling maybe meet each other. You're standing inside. And then you're going to start to close off your elbows and pull the ribs backwards, feeling this nice rounding through the upper back. Okay, and we're going to repeat that. Just inhaling and pulling the heart forward and up, finding this nice spinal extension. And then exhale, rounding through that spine, maybe starting to take that a little lower into your lumbar spine and into your pelvis. Okay, nice floating up, open up your heart here. And exhale, rounding it forward. Right? We're gonna do that about twice more, just working through any sticky spots, just starting to notice them. Right, finding where you could maybe use a little bit more spread and articulation. For me, it is absolutely that middle part of the back, so for you it might be similar as well. Okay, and after this next one, I just want you to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to step the right foot in front of me with the heel lifted, and the foot behind is going to be just on this ever so slight external rotation. So just a little bit more of a grounded stance for that back foot. Your heel is going to be down with the front leg. Your toes are going to be lifted off the floor. We're going to press the right heel down into the floor. I just want you to feel like you were trying to press it all the way down as far as you can. And once you feel that press, I want you to pull the heel back. It's not going to move like this. It's going to stay planted into the floor, and you're going to start to create this kind of resistance in the back of your thigh. And as you pull that heel, pretending we're pulling it backwards, you're going to send your hips back in the same direction with a very long spine. I'm going to place hands on the hips for now as I kind of flat back forward. And then we're going to rise up to the top. We're going to take that again. Heel presses down, it drags back. We send the hips behind us. We try to cast the heart forward. Okay? So this is sometimes called a floss or a fascia floss for your hamstrings. It is an eccentric stretch where you are first connecting to your hamstrings, engaging by pulling that heel into the floor, pulling it back on the floor, and then we're elongating the hamstrings by driving the pelvis back behind us. It's almost like grabbing at the tissue, maintaining that engagement as the fibers spread and lengthen. Right? This is an excellent way to create more sustainable mobility in your hamstrings that actually lasts. Okay, we're going to do a couple more on this right leg, right? Making sure that you only send the hips back as far as you are able to maintain that heel, pulling into the floor, right? Really strong. On the last one, we're just going to pause at the bottom point, again, where you can still feel that heel contact. And you're just going to hold there and just think of taking your pelvis a little bit side to side, like you're imagining your tailbone wagging right and left while keeping that heel pressure into the floor. Okay, we've got it for 3, 2, 1. We rise up nice and tall, and we'll flip to the other side. So I'll stay facing this way so you can get a different view. The heel of the left foot is going to be in front of us. The right leg is going to turn out. And we're going to start with that same kind of heel pressure, right? Push the heel into the ground, pull it backwards, start to hinge your hips back. Heart, rather than kind of coming this way, it's going to stay shining out and away from you. And then come up, okay? Hamstrings might be a little different from side to side. Very normal. So you may get more sensation on one side than the other. But as long as you're continuing to feel that heel down and back into the floor, you are doing what you need to do, right? Pull back. And I like to think each time I go, maybe I find just a little bit more of that heel pressure, right? Creating a little bit more of that eccentric contraction. Right? We'll do that 2 more times. And then on the last time, let's just hold at the bottom. Really keep that heel down and back, and we're going to start to wag side to side. Right? Just a little wag here for 3, for 2, and last one. We rise up to the top. We bring those feet back side by side. And I want you to just find the hands behind the head once again. You're going to start to bring the weight to the centers of the feet, like you could stack your entire body over the highest point of your arch. Okay? Once you've found that, you're going to nod your chin down towards your chest. You're going to start to roll through the neck. You're going to roll through that mid-back. You're going to keep pulling that spine forward 1 vertebra at a time until eventually your torso is hanging over your legs. Maybe you release the hands from the back of your head and just give your spine a little bit of a sway right to left. Maybe shaking out the head, letting any tension go there. Okay. From here, I want you to just take a quick crawl of the hands forward, drop down to your knees, and then we're going to flip to face forward. I'm going to have the right leg out in front, the left leg behind, so we're finding this 90-90 position, okay? So if you look at your front leg, kind of where the knee is, should be making roughly a 90-degree angle. Same with the back leg, okay? So we're going to bring it down to the right forearm, same arm as the leg in front, and we're going to find that same position, hand behind the head. Feel your head draw back into your hand and stack up your spine. We're going to start to rotate the elbow forward and the left side of the chest and rib cage forward until you are turning to face the floor. And then you're going to open up and try to feel a spread across your armpit, a spread across that left side of your chest, and then repeat. Okay? As we rotate, I want you to think about kind of this 3D movement quality in your body. So as the left rib cage comes forward in space, the right ribs are equally turning back. Okay, so we're always kind of thinking about opposition and what's going on in one part of the body, thinking about what's going on in the opposite side to create this full movement experience. Okay, we're going to take a few more rotations here. Be finding a nice inhale through the nose as you rotate into the ribs. Exhale as you unwind. Okay. Now, as you start to come back up, we're going to take those fingertips to the very top of that left shoulder head, little attachment point here, and you're going to carve your elbow now across the chest. Imagine you're pointing that elbow out as far away from you as you can. Continue to circle it up and back behind you. Right? And again, reach the elbow forward like you're stretching it away from your armpit. And then come back. Yeah, so looking for sticky spots, looking for spots within this circle that you kind of want to speed through and skip over. Those are often the spots that we need to slow down even more, right? There's no rush with this stuff. Okay, just exploring your own shoulder. Okay? And then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. Pull the elbow back, allow it to scoop up and over your head. Continue to reach away from yourself as you come down and to the front. Okay? I want you to feel kind of like this yawning open in the left side of your ribs, the left armpit. Right? Like you're really trying to create a lot of space between the bones of your ribs on this side and deep within that armpit. Okay, last time. And then all we're going to do from here is find a little press up to the top. Your right palm is now going to be on the floor, a little bit away from the shoulder so we're not too cramped up here, right? Just on a diagonal. I want you to spread through all of your fingers here, wide palm. I'm going to press down through your palm and your legs and just rise up with the hips, taking this big stretch over to the right. And then as you slowly hover the hips down, your arm can kind of reach out to the side, and we'll take that again. We reach up, we fan those left ribs open even more, and then we descend down with a little bit of control. Right? Lifting, allow your head to do a little tilt over to the right. We'll take 3 more. Maybe start to feel how that pinky finger of the top arm kind of reaches over your head more. Right? You might be able to feel that stretch radiate even deeper down the side of your torso, maybe into the top of your left hip. Cool. Last time, we stay up at the top. Just take a nice full breath in through the nose, and then exhale out through the mouth, and we just slowly return the hips down. Great. We're going to take that over to the other side. Switch your legs out. Left leg is in front, right shin is behind, and we're going to bring ourselves into that approximate 90 degree angle position with our legs. You're going to take your left forearm down, elbow under the shoulder, and we're going to bring the hand behind the head. From here, we think of going up and then over to rotate our ribs down towards the floor. And then we send the ribs just up towards the ceiling slightly. Right? And if you're someone who is interested in the fascia, it is such a wonderful and complex part of our body. But I want you to think in regards to movement, this kind of connective nature that the fascia has. So for example, as we rotate the elbow forward here, I want you to kind of picture a through line from the elbow kind of sliding up into the back of your shoulder blades, maybe even sensing down all the way into the top of your sacrum, your pelvis in the back. Yeah? So we can just start to feel how when we're moving our bodies, it's never just one part that's being affected, it's this kind of holistic experience. It's like a through line running through your body in all these different ways. All right, last time we'll rotate, and then we'll open up, and then we'll bring those fingertips to the head of the shoulder, and you're going to carve the elbow forward, feeling that reach. Elbow reaches away. You might feel a little more stretch into the side of your hip, and then circle the elbow back behind you. Okay. And this is, again, one of those moments where that just natural urge to rush through, to get it over with, might start coming up for you. I know it does for me often, but see if you can resist that a little and just be with what's in this right shoulder head, right? Seeing the sticky spots, going through them instead of kind of passing over them. Let's reverse that. Elbow sneaks back behind you. You circle all the way around, right? The fullest circle that you can make. Really go for it. Up and over. Yeah. Sending breath into where it's tight, right? If that's your armpit, if that's your rib cage, if that's your neck, maybe seeing if you can breathe into those spaces, like your breath could actually create more expansion. Last two. Nice. Now from here, we'll take the left palm down, again, a little bit away from your body, so it's on more of a diagonal. And you're gonna press down into the palm, press down into the legs, arc over, stretch your right arm over your head. Right? Lower the pelvis down with control, and then push down to lift the hips up, tilting your head over to the left, and back down. Yeah. Inhale, reach up, reach your hip away from your arm, reach your arm away from your hip. Nice. You've got that. For 3 more. Right? Maybe picturing your ribs like a little accordion, opening and spreading as you reach your arm overhead. Good. Nice. On this last one, you just hold at the top. Stay there, breathe in through the nose, really expand the right side of your rib cage. And then exhale, let it go. You're gonna start to make your way to a seated position. We're gonna find first our feet kind of out in front of us, just with this, hip width distance of space between them. We're gonna set our hands behind us. Now this is going to be for the chest, the pec minor, the pec major. We're gonna take the fingertips and point them towards our hips. We're gonna start to bend at the elbows and almost just feel this subtle sinking back sensation, right? Nothing too far. Maybe you've gone about 25% of the way down. You're gonna push down into your palms and push the fingertips towards the feet. They're not gonna move this way, but we're pretending that they could. So you're really pushing down and forward with the fingertips as you slowly begin to lift your heart up, and maybe your elbows come closer to straight. We're gonna bend back down and relax, and then you're gonna repeat that. Press the palms down. Imagine you are pushing your fingertips forward to light up the front of the chest, and keep lifting the heart with that strong engagement from the pressing forward with your hands. Okay? In this one, we want to just be mindful of the front of our shoulders. We're not pushing into any pain or discomfort. We're just spreading the fascia that gets very dense across the front of the chest into the fronts of the shoulder heads. Yeah. If you want to add a piece to this, completely optional, but as you're starting to find that small extension, you could also press down into the feet, pick up your hips. Yeah, and then slowly return. We're going to do this for about 4 more. Yeah, if you do choose to lift up those hips, make sure you're continuing to press those hands forward. Good. And the last one, I'm just going to hold at the top, no lift in the hips. Just press into your hands, push the fingertips forward, feel that power, that energy coming up from your arms into your chest, and just hold that extension at the top, and then just allow yourself to sit back up and relax forward a little. Okay. From the outside, doesn't look like a whole lot. You're really tapping into that engagement throughout. It's really intense, so just be gentle with your range on those. Same with this. All right, last little piece here. We're gonna take our seat a little bit tighter in with the legs. If you need to sit up on a cushion or a yoga block for some more height, please do that for these. We're gonna have our feet flat. We're gonna have our elbows tucking inside of the knees, okay? Now, we're gonna start with the elbows open, the knees slightly open. The elbows are gonna try to press away from each other. So just try that on, like little chicken wings with the arms. Yeah, feel how kind of shoulders, upper arms are working. And eventually, you're gonna push the knees together. The elbows are resisting this by continuing to press apart. The knees will eventually win, and you're gonna feel kind of this closing of the elbows at the very end, and then you just relax back out. Okay, so we push the elbows apart, we keep pushing them apart the entire way, but our knees eventually do win the fight here, and they will close the elbows all the way. So I'll turn from the side so you can see this way. As we kind of pull the knees inward and push the elbows apart, we're creating this spreading, this nice elongation of the fascia, kind of running up the backs of the arms, between the shoulder blades, maybe even into the upper traps. You'll get some sensation there. I recommend as you close off the elbows, just tucking the chin down slightly, feeling like you're exposing and lengthening the back of the neck. Whew, it's intense if you really hold on to that resistance the whole way, right? Feel the spread. Take your mind's eye to the back of the neck and that space between the shoulder blades. Okay, we've got it for 2 more. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the eyes. Good. Final one, press the elbows out. Hang on to that as long as you can. Keep pressing out as you finally close. Tilt the chin down a little bit more. And then just let it go. We're gonna find just a quick all fours position to round this out. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You'll take a little tuck through the toes and just find a little seat back onto your heels. See if you can really tuck the big toes under. Maybe you get the other 5 toes to tuck as well. And find a little stretch for the bottoms of the feet. If you're doing this first thing in the morning or late at night, your feet may be extra sensitive here. So just try to, be gentle. You could always have hands on the floor to ease out of it. But just hold that stretch for the feet. Feel into the soles of the feet. Feel into all of that tissue running along the bottom sides of the toes. Right? Deep breath in. Exhale out. When you're ready, start to place your hands in front of your knees. You're going to keep that tuck of your toes, just quick lift of the hips. Walk your hands back to find a nice forward fold over your legs. Again, relax the head completely, expose the back of the neck. You're going to continue to push down into your feet, trying to feel both the balls of the feet and the heels pressing evenly into the floor. And with that head and arms and shoulder areas all hanging heavy over your thighs, you're going to start to roll up slowly, drawing the tailbone towards the floor, feeling your pelvis stacking upright, feeling the ribs pulling back in space to stack over your hips, and then lastly, feeling the head float up on top of everything. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this mobility flow. As always, feel free to ask any questions, leave a comment about any modification options, and I'm happy to provide.